Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. I don't have a bingo. I've got a scoring tile in the J. I could play Jingo, but that's leaving duplicate E. So, is there a way of getting rid of one of the D's? I'd like to play off the J. Well, I don't think I can score anything like as much as Jingo. So, I'm going with this. Great, I don't draw any more D's. So that could have been worse. But it's not a fabulous rack. I could play Vita and keep double D again. Probably not best. Close to additive. So this is a slightly problematic rack in that I'd like to split up the duplicates and get rid of the V. And there aren't many ways of doing that. I could play Davit or dative if my opponent plays an E. So what if the board stays as it is? Well, I've got Davit above or below Jingo. Okay, nice move by my opponent. He hasn't provided very much. Heap takes an A in front. So I could play Targe. Not great, keeping the duplicate D and the V. Po takes an A in front. Ag takes a V in front. Well, I can play Davit here. 21 points for it, which is a lot more than I would have got if I'd played just above or below the O. And it's not putting anything dangerous next to a premium square. No vowels next to a premium square. High takes an A in front. So I could play that. Well, I don't like that. I could play... Well, I can't see a way of playing off the V and one of the Ds by utilising that. So I'm going with this. Although I may have missed something better. Not great. No scoring tiles. 2 U's. Well, if an E's in the right spot, I can sort the rack out with duotone. I've got Junto or Jotun in column 4, which is certainly better than changing. And maybe my opponent will be distracted by this double lane in column 11. Now, do I have a play in row I running underneath Jingo? Well, probably not a good one because no U's play under it. Great, my opponent has played away from the J and only scored 14 points. So Junto for 24. Not a great play, but it may be the best there is. Now that is a nice rack. I will surely be bingoing with this. Junto takes an S. So what does this rack make with an S? Nothing, I don't think. Maybe it does. Well, nothing I can see. Lu takes an S, same problem. Lai takes nothing. Apo takes a D. So I've got Dowerine in row I. There may be something fancy beginning Apo in column 8. Row K is a double row for a bingo beginning with T. So do I have a beginning with T bingo with this rack? Let me run through the alphabet and see if I can see one. Tuberoid. Great. I'm stopping there. So I have tuberoid. What else is good? Well, column 12 is available for a bingo with ES in it. So the blank would have to be an S. I can't see such a play. The U of Lou is available for a column 13 bingo. For a bingo with 2 U's. Can't see one. Big difference between Dowerine and tuberoid in terms of score. However, hopefully one of them will be available. Now, what about a play in row I beginning under N or DAG? So an O can go under DAG. Do I have any OD plays? Don't think so. What goes under EN, which goes with OD? S or D or G? Okay, none of those work. So Lie takes nothing in front, DAG takes nothing in front, so the top left of the board is pretty dead. My opponent's taking a while with his move. He could be close to a bingo or just struggling. Hopefully the latter. Are there any other bingo lanes I've missed? Now, tuberoid has been blocked. But look at this. Zone takes an O in front. So I think a column 1 play is going to be better than a double-double play. So I just need to find the best play with an O in it. And there's certainly at least one because I have neuroid. In fact, I'm going to play that because it scores the most in that the D gets doubled. And it doesn't place any vowels next to premium squares. So anything better than this is going to be pretty minusculely better. Not great, just the one vowel. There could be a bingo through a vowel. Corn flap, for example, that type of word, although that isn't good. So there's a floating U and a floating O. Okay, I don't think there is a bingo here. I've got 3 scoring tiles, so I'm looking to play off at least 2 of them. Flock and flop are both good. No great rack leaves with this rack, given that I've only got 1 vowel. Crop full is good, but this U is in the wrong spot. Junto takes an S. So right now I've seen pretty much nothing. HI takes a C in front. Now, do I have a play running down here? Probably not, because it would have to have EO in it. And I can't see a play starting higher up. Now, has my opponent provided some scoring opportunities with this vowel? So I've got Treff, keeping plonk. 18 points, not great. What about a play running across the top of Lou? Can't see one. I certainly want to play... Am I disappearing into darkness here? Let me see if that helps. Okay, I'm no idea if I've been invisible for the last however long. So, what am I doing? I'm rambling on. I've seen nothing. So what about a play just through the U? So I've got croup. That's keeping the F, and I'd rather play that. I'm just surprised there aren't spots for simple words like flop or flock. I could play curve, but that's not going to score very much. 15 minutes on my clock, 14 on my opponent's. Nothing goes under Apo. I don't want to play down from A12. That's needlessly giving a scoring opportunity for my opponent. I could have a play beginning FO. I've got conf on my rack. Tempting. 29 points, that's a lot. I spent a while on this move. I'm going with this. 7 consonants. This could be time to change. There are no, or pretty much no, available vowels on this board. Still, both blanks to come. Yeah, pretty grim. If my opponent sticks a vowel out in the open, I may be able to play something like brawl. The T something E spot, not available for playing off more than 2 consonants at best, and possibly not even that. Wow, look at that. Fabulous play by my opponent. He goes into a lead, and I'm in no state to respond, and he burns one of the blanks and could be sitting there with the second. I'll just check this in case it's not good. It's fine. Okay, I am going to change. How many R's? Still 4 R's to come. I'm changing the lot. 6 vowels. Oh dear. Not good. Wow, I thought that was another bingo for a moment. It's just a high-scoring non-bingo, burning 6 tiles. What am I going to do here? Well, maybe I was slightly ahead after the... I'm only 20 points behind. I thought I was more than that. So, do I play bow for 23 to keep the scoring going, or do I change again? I can't see anything down from the C. Well, I think this is going to be better than changing. Just 26 points, keeping A double I. Not giving too much away unless my opponent's got the X. Can I do better than this? No, I don't think so. And I draw the X. Fantastic. Things are looking up. Fantastic. So I'm 5 points ahead. I'm sitting here with the X. I can play XI and bows and leaving myself with a pretty good 5-letter rack leave. Bow also takes an S and a T, so that could go. So where else can my X go? Nowhere obviously fabulous. Well, it can go in front of the U, but if the spot after bow is taken, that's likely to be obstructed as well. I've got calcs in column 8, which leaves double IRS. Not great, but it's a 39-point play. Do I have a bingo with this rack? I don't think so. G of Goosey's available most likely for an ing ending play. I've got I's and there are N's unplayed. So if I can play XI and draw an N, row A is going to look pretty hot. Now I've got XI underneath vacated. Great. So I should be able to play just XI, either under bow or under vacated. Sev only takes an S after it. Junto takes an S. The Z available for plays in column 12. I don't have any, which work with this rack. Column 15, a bingo lane at the bottom. From an E, I would have Elixir. Again, my opponent taking a while on his move. He's taken more time than I have. It's usually the other way around. Has he drawn the second blank? No. Well, he hasn't played it. How interesting. He's opened up a triple lane, and if I play Chi here, or Zai, however you pronounce it, I don't know how you pronounce that, then this rack lead goes pretty well with the T, and if I draw an N with the G, so let's see what happens. I draw the Q, great, and a duplicate A, so a pretty miserable 2-tile pickup. If the T stays available, I've got cat. And I've got qua in row I. Again, leaving myself with the same goodish 5-letter set. The reason it's goodish rather than great is that it doesn't have an E. So again, as before, when I had 2 spots for XI, I've now got 2 spots for QA. 3 spots because of cat onto the T of vacated. Which is almost as good as row O. Remaining tiles, pretty bingo-y. Both blanks have gone. I think I made a reference to my opponent drawing the second blank. I'd clearly forgotten that I'd played it in Neuroid, so I don't have to worry about him having a blank. Let me check the vowel situation. 31 tiles unseen. Only 9 vowels. Wow. That's pretty good, because I've got 3, and my candidate plays only use 1. So I'm guaranteed to have 2 vowels next go. My opponent could be sitting on a heap of consonants. He's only 40 points behind. But I'm hoping to extend my lead over him over the next 2 or 3 moves. Just looking around for other Q spots I may have overlooked. Onto a, or from a T, I would have Talax. So I've actually got Talax in row O for 48 points. Worth thinking about. And then discarding. It's burning 2 vowels, and given the vowel shortage, I think the burning that vowel and burning the S is not justified by the extra score of Talax over cat, which I think is 12 more points. I think if the board was, if the unseen tiles were more evenly balanced, then even then it would probably be a wash between the 2 plays. If this triple lane remains open, I am going to take it. Because although there is a vowel shortage, in the unseen tiles there may not be a vowel shortage on my opponent's rack, and the remaining tiles are quite bingo-y. And a triple by my opponent would pretty much give him the win. Only 7 minutes on his clock and 24 tiles to come, and I suspect some pretty grim racks if he's drawing a heavy bunch of consonants. So, anywhere else for my cue that I've missed? All 4 U's have been played, so let me account for them. Yeah, the only useful one in bows. Through a U, I would have squarial. But that certainly doesn't play on this board. I've got Talak in column 9. Well, I would if I had a T. Still 2 N's to come. So by playing cat and retaining the I, if I draw an N, row A is looking pretty good. Quite a few bingo lanes on this board. There's row A, there's column 2, there's row O, there's row N, and then there are the final 3 floaters invocated. I think those are the main ones. I guess row M with a 4 tile overlap. Great. Only 11 points for my opponent. He doesn't play any vowels, so he could be struggling. So I'm going to play QA and pick up E and N. Nearly. Well, I draw no vowels. I can't see a 7 with this rack. I was just looking at this floating E. That's been taken. My opponent burns 1 vowel. He's playing a little quicker now. Through an O, I would have Goliards. 11 minutes on my clock. Is there no bingo here? Slagged through an E. Can't see anything through the N. Okay, well, although I've played off 2 tiles on the last 2 moves, it's not in order to retain a fabulous rack. It's just that the score and rack combination has been good, so I'm not trying to preserve this rack. Although I am mindful of the vowels. So I could play Clag down here. 21 points. The rack lever is good. I'm holding on to the I. The G not too dangerous as a floater. I'm obstructing my opponent from a 7-letter S bingo. I hope I don't have such a play myself. Gosh. Only 21 points. Can I do better retaining A and I? So I need to look at the vowels on the board. Heil not good. Yeah, I think overall this is okay. I draw an I and a Y, which is good. Both of those draws are good in the sense that they're vowels or quasi-vowels. 11 tiles left. So I have a 60-point lead, so even if my opponent bingos, it's not the end of the game. I was just looking at the O. Both my H and Y can play there. But my I can't go either side in a vertical place. That's not that useful. Flowery is good. Wow. Oh, gosh. Nice bingo by my opponent. He's 17 points in the lead. Remaining tiles now look fairly balanced. I was just thinking if I had a HY play across here. Can't see one. So I could play Yeared. That would empty the bag. That's not good. So I'm looking to play off 3 tiles. How can I do that? And I want one of them to be an I. Just looking for possible bingos through Mary's. Can't see any. 8 minutes on my clock. So what does Airy score? 25 points, which would take me into an 8-point lead. I'm retaining the H for score. Don't like that. It's a shame I haven't got a 2 or 3 letter play up the top here, making HM, but I don't. And I can't see a play beginning IM. I've got dryish on my rack. 8 minutes left. This game has suddenly become quite tough. Airy doesn't feel great. And that's partly because both I've got the last H and S, so the flower hook is available only for me. So it might be worth holding on to that. 7 minutes on my clock. So can I play Yid somewhere? Don't think so. What about F1? Ah, well, yes, I can. I can play it right here. So that's 28 points, which is a good score. Pretty much what I got for Airy. In fact, a little bit more. And I think this rack leave is better than Dish. So I'm going with this. No vowels at all, and my opponent could actually have a vowel-heavy rack now. Astonishing. I do draw an N for an ing word, but I need a vowel to go with that. I don't have one. Do I have anything through the E? Don't think so. I don't have any high-scoring plays in column 1. However, I've still got an S. We're going after flowers. Now, do I have enthralls? No. Right letters, but the A is not sufficiently out in the open. My lead is only 11 points. I should be able to go out in 2. The H is my only scoring tile. So if I played shirt, 29 points, keeping LN. I'm going to struggle to score well twice. Do I have anything which goes between HI and E? No, I don't. I was thinking about playing across here with my H. Z can't be used for score. 37 points for my opponent, brutal. He's now got a 20-odd point lead. 3 minutes on his clock. Six minutes on my clock. So his remaining tiles, can he go out? Imbar, Mimbar, and Byra. I don't think so. He can go out. He can play Gambier, which suggests I play across row N. But the trouble with playing Shirt is that my Rackley with LN isn't going to score well next go. So what about playing Laths? 29 points, which is good. It's better than Shirt in that the rack lever is better. It doesn't open up the bottom triple. And it retains, well, this is the rack lever being better. It retains an eye. Can I go out next go with Rin? I've got Ring for not very much, but it is an out. It's 5 minutes on my clock. I've got in row just underneath it for 8. Both of those could be blocked. Do I have a second out? 4 minutes on my clock. Well, what about playing high ants? Well, the main problem with that is that it may be a phony. It may be Haints and not high ants. So if I get 29, that's 30 less 1, so 397. I'll be 3 points in the lead. Well, my opponent can just play Matt. 28, 25-point difference. I need to score well with Rin. Can I score more than 29 points? Let me put this back. 3 minutes on my clock. Do I have anything which extends pint? I don't think so. I can't use this OD spot. It may be my opponent's best spot. Tricky. Mary's was a turning point. Does enthralls have an anagram? Not that I can see. Well, I think this game may be slipping away from me. I just don't think Laths wins. What could possibly beat it? I'd need to score a lot more. Can't see anything up here. No, I can't see anything better. So Laths for 29. Now I'm expecting my opponent to play Bat or Mat. Maybe he's found something better. He certainly had quite a bit of time to think about it while I was contemplating my last rack. I haven't seen anything better than in row for my rack, and I would need something significantly better to overcome Matt. Still looking around for alternative outs, can't see any. 2 minutes on my opponent's clock and 1 minute on mine. So this has been quite a long game and quite a tight one, just 3 points between us. I'm looking for an alternative out in case my opponent blocks mine, or blocks the two I've seen, which he could do. And I can't see anything else. One minute on my opponent's clock, so not long to go. I don't think there is anything for me in the top left of the board. I do now have something in row I. I have NUR, but that's not an out. 13 points. Yeah, there goes Matt for 28, which I think secures the win. I have in row for 8, just checking to see if my opponent's created anything new with that play, and he hasn't. So just wait for my opponent to formally end the game, which he does. And the final score, 415 to me, 422 to my opponent, a winning margin of 7 points. So well done to my opponent. Let's see what I missed. And 5 of those 7 came from challenging goosies. So, me to go fast, I played Jingo, that looks fine. Gin also available, but for a lot fewer points. Opponent plays Heap. I played David for 21. Yep, that's fine. Nice rack for my opponent, no bingo. He plays Lou. I play Junto. Tondo keeping 2 U's, don't like that. My opponent has Ev Zones, does it play? Nope. But these two 9-letter plays do, through LI. Difficult to spot. I have Neuroid for 91. The only equal scoring bingo was Foundry. Wow, that looks like there should be a bingo there. There isn't a playable one. Opponent plays Sev. This was a tricky rack. In the end, I played Conf. That's fine, I think. But it was just what my opponent needs. Wow, Poog Yees B2. Wow, coming down parallel to Neuroid. But Goosey's for 2 fewer points, still pretty good. Horrible rack for me, but I'm still ahead by 11 points. So I'd change. I could have played Word for 28, keeping 5 vowels. Very difficult to judge that because a lot of the time you are going to be picking up 2 consonants or 1 consonant. So I'm fairly happy with changing. Opponent plays Vacated. And although I did change all 7, arguably I should have kept PR or R because I'm now swamped with vowels. Bow, F14. That was my play. And I still like that. Opponent has Kent. And now I felt I was in a good spot because I'm about to play a 50-point X play with a decent rack leave and I'm only 20 points behind. So there it is, J14, XI. Opponent doesn't have a great rack. Plays Pint. And I contemplated Talax, preferred Cat. And now I'm 50 or 60 points in the lead. This is my opponent's rack. He plays Flower. And he's still 39 points behind, and I've got a balanced rack. Great, I didn't miss a bingo. I played Clag for 21. Possibly Ger for 18 better, retaining 2 vowels. Yep, I think so. And now look at this. Great rack for my opponent. Just the one bingo. And he spots it. Fantastic stuff for him. He's now got only a 17-point lead. So the game is certainly not over. It's just tilted in his favour. A1. Imshi. Very nice. 51 points and a decent rack leave. That would have taken me to 391. 30 points up. Yeah. And it would have taken out the AWE spot. So I think that was the play. And that is the only play up here apart from Imshi with an I. K4 there, quite nice for 535. And then here's my play of 28, which is fairly good. It's just a lot worse than Imshi. Opponent plays Or, and now he is 26 points ahead. And the bag's empty. I play Laths. Nothing obviously better. Opponent doesn't have an out. Plays Mat. And in row is the best. So a pretty exciting game. I was in the lead until my opponent came back with Merries. And then came the critical play of Imshi, which I didn't play. And if I had have played that, I think I would have won the game. So it's quite often the case in Scrabble when you're analysing a game that you can pinpoint one key move where if you'd played a better play, then the result would have been different. And I think in this case, that was the Imshi play. But a good game in any event. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I will see you next time.